Hey y'all, it's Mai. So if you've seen my last video, this is just a continuation of that. So I'm starting off on freshly washed and deep conditioned hair, as you can see. And I'm just gonna go in with my ApHogee Keratin and Green Tea Reconstructor just to make sure that my hair has completely recovered from that protein treatment. Now is also a great time for me to mention that if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can join the family. I just like to make sure that my scalp is moisturized or oiled down before I start any style, so I'm just going in with my Novi Norris stimulating oil and massaging that into my scalp before I begin to style. I like to make sure that my hair is more dry than damp before I begin to blow dry, and I also like to use this Shea Moisture styling lotion because it provides moisture and heat and prevents heat damage. I can't speak now. I like to make sure that every strand is covered with the lotion and protected by the lotion, and I'll do that by detangling thoroughly before I begin to blow dry. Now, when I begin to blow dry, I use a tension method at first just to ensure that my roots are all taken care of, and it just makes the process way faster and way less painful. After I blow dry, I like to braid up each section just to ensure that it's completely out the way and so that I can finish the rest of my head with ease. Now, before I get attacked, I know I am in dire need of a trim, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now that we're done blow drying and everything, we're ready to start styling. So for this style, I'm using Uncle Funky's Daughter extra butter, just a little bit of that, and also a little bit of Miss Jessie's Coily Custard because I don't want my hair to revert, just a little bit of both. Jamaican black castor oil, some styling tools that you'll need, some black rubber bands. I prefer the ones that snap easily, so don't get those. And some clear beads, but you can of course use any color that you like. So to start this style off, I just split my hair in half, ear to ear, and then I'm gonna start with my parting in the back. So I went ahead and split that section again because I was going for smaller braids. Now to start, I used the extra butter, just a tiny bit of that on each section, and then I went in with the Coily Custard, and then I just braided. Easy as it seems. Now, since my hair was blown out, I did have to make sure that the braids were a little bit tighter so that they wouldn't unravel, and I would just detangle that section thoroughly and then just braid. And I believe I did about 5 braids in that back section. After I finished braiding a section, I would coat all the braids with some Jamaican black castor oil just to seal in the moisture, and then I would put the beads in because I felt that it made more sense to put the beads in as I was going, just to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now I just continued that same exact process row by row, and it was very time consuming. I was recording this at about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, so I was very tired, but you know, we don't give up. I was not about to go to sleep with my hair half done. So I just finished the rest of that back section off camera. I did 3 beads per braid in the very back section, and then the rest of the braids I did 4 beads per section. And I just continued with that same routine throughout the rest of my head until I got to the crown, like the very top. Now for the braids in the very front, I used some Style Factor edge gel just to make sure that they were all sleeked down and looked neat and everything, and then I just braided as normal. So as I mentioned before, it was about 3 or 4 o'clock at this time. I was really tired, so I did fall asleep more than once, but it's just funny because I tried to play it off every time I fell asleep on camera. If you're wondering why I was doing my hair this early, it is because this was literally the day of Thanksgiving and I didn't have time to take no breaks. I had to finish my hair so that I can, start getting ready for the day. Now I really tried to play it off, but yeah, I just continued with the braiding, the same process on those sections, and now I'm gonna show you how I did that crown section on top with the cornrows. So to be honest, this top part with the cornrows is very last minute planned because I didn't have enough beads to make them individual braids, so I decided to count all the beads I had and divide them equally into cornrows. So yeah. As you can see, I like to add a little bit of the cream to the end of my braid just to make sure that when it's tucked, it's all moisturized. So this is not a cornrowing tutorial because I'm not an expert at all. I'm still learning on how to do them on my own head, but I literally just did like a diagonal kind of cornrow thingy and then 2 on the side. You can see what I'm doing. So I made sure that the cornrows were like diagonal and facing not towards my face because I don't really like to have hair in my face. Yeah. So at this point I could see that it was all coming together, so I was happy, And so I just continued the same steps on the other side, making sure that the parts were all equal and everything. Because, I don't care how the back looks. As long as the front and the top looks good, I'm good. So I thought I'd show y'all a little bit more in depth how to put the beads on the braid. You just put it through the loopy thingy, push the beads onto the braid. You take the last bead and you put the rubber band like that. I'm sorry, I don't know how to explain, so I don't know what I'm doing. You just wrap it around and then you slide it down. Yes, we're done. Yes. So I was just making sure that my scalp wasn't looking crusty or whatever. And then I went over all the braids last time with like a little glossing agent, little sealant, Jamaican black cast oil, just to make sure everything was looking nice or whatever. As you can see, the parts in the back are horrendous, but I don't care because I was done. Now for the fun part. This part is completely optional, but I feel like I just needed something to spice up the hairstyle a bit. So I decided to do my edges. I just used the Style Factor edge gel. I didn't do anything too extra, but you know, between extra and simple, you feel me? So I just play around with it until I get the look that I want. As you can see, I just go over them a few times, and then I did this thing where I did like a reverse edge, and I was like, hold on, we might have done something. So I stuck with that, and I just, you know, played around with them until I get the look that I want. And here we are, finally done. This is the finished look. I'm sorry, I was feeling myself too much to not put these clips in slow-mo. I mean, like, come on now, come on, look at her. Go off sis, go off. Yeah, stiff wear, come on. So that is it for this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoy this hairstyle. Let me know in the comments below if you would try this out, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye, y'all.
Girl, I need you right now. For real, I'll always hold you down.